your first time in London?
First time, yes. Any part of England.
Are you enjoying it?
I am a lot, yeah.
So, at this point, is it just all the talking's over and you just got to wait to see who wins tonight?
Yeah, that's kind of what I said. I said in Q&A, it's like, you know, I think if Masvidal wins, he's going to make some lame-ass excuse why he doesn't have to fight me. I think Till's in. I think I got him hook, line, and sinker. You know, the other day he said something crazy like, it was funny because he said he'll have to work his way up the rankings. Meanwhile, he's fighting a guy that's ranked number 11, which I thought was pretty funny. But it seems like I got him, you know, and especially if I'm able to goad him in front of his hometown crowd, I just don't think he's going to have anywhere to go but say yes.
See, when he ran out yesterday, do you like that sort of stuff?
I didn't actually see it. You know, I was up here. It happened over there, so I watched the video after. Yeah, it was funny. It was funny. I thought, and listen, the crowd went nuts. They obviously loved it.
Ben. Oh, well, I was just saying, has there been anything said about the potential for you getting in the cage after the main event?
I might have been asking around to see what I got to do. We'll see.
We'll see.
Well, you know what? Like, I'm already on the bad side of Dana White, so I don't want to get on the worst side of him by doing something insane. So, you know, I'm sure there's necessary measures and precautions they got to be taken. So we'll see.
How do you think the main event goes down?
I think Till wins.
Okay.
Yeah, I would guess.
How would you see that going?
I just think he's going to be a little better striker, a little more well-rounded, a little bigger, a little stronger, kind of just a little better everywhere.
You've spoken about how with Robbie you didn't have anyone to talk, you know, trash with, and obviously Darren seems to be up for it. But do you think if you guys got into a battle thing, I can imagine you getting under his skin quite easily, like, right?
I think so too.
Right?
Yeah.
I can imagine you could sort of, you know, out-witticism him.
Well, listen, you know, now you're picking on Darren. That's my job. My job is to pick on Darren, not your job. So you just let me stick with my game plan.
When you're trash talking people, one of the things I've sort of spotted with sort of watching the way you go about these, you don't really go for the personal abuse angle of that very easily.
Well, no one really likes that.
No, but that's what I mean. Is that a conscious decision that you sort of steer clear of that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I
so much of it elsewhere.
I feel like there's just like some lines you don't cross. And then, you know, you just see people don't really like that. You know, it's just like, they don't really want any more of that. And so, not only do I not like it, the people don't like it, so if no one likes it, what's the point?
Yeah, and with GSP retired, I know you'd love to face GSP.
I don't think he's all the way retired.
You think there's a chance he might come back?
Damn straight there's a chance. So I think he was trying to fight Khabib, and I don't, you know, I wasn't in those negotiations, but I think there was genuine interest in that fight, and, you know, from my angle, the UFC, if Khabib, you know, Khabib, one of his things right now is he's 27-0. In fact, he's got a 0 there. So if GSP comes in, beats him up, and then just says I'm done again, which is probably what he would do, right? He's not gonna say, oh, I'm back and I'm gonna fight 3 times a year. Man, that's a bad look for Khabib. I mean, that's you know, you get one payday, but then it's like, what's after that? So I think that's why, you know, GSP said, hey, this just, you know, they probably weren't offering him a lot of money or something. He said it's not in it for me, and then he retired.
But if move GSP to one side for a sec, I know you've been pushing for a 165 division as well.
Yeah.
That would seem like a tailor-made match of you and Khabib 165.
Yeah.
How high on the totem pole would that be for you? I mean,
that's about right.
Guys going at it for potentially for a belt.
Absolutely. I mean, that's very high. I mean, you know, if there's some way I can make that happen next, I would make it happen. I don't think I can, right? I'm like 1 or 2 fights away from that happening. But that is something that'd be an awesome fight. Great storyline, both undefeated. The USA versus Russia thing always plays. So I think we have, you know, and then you also got like the best wrestler in MMA type of thing playing. So I think you would have a whole bunch of angles to run on that fight. That would be a lot of fun.
How close could you get to 155?
I wrestled at 163 for my time in the Olympic international wrestling. And that was a huge challenge for me. Like I was on a diet 12 months a year. I didn't get that. I would never have a plate of food like that. And so that was 163. Like I really couldn't foresee myself going any lower than that. So it's like that's 8 more pounds than 155. Like that's just totally out of the question. Whereas I could see, you know, it would be tough for me to make 165, but I know I can do it.
You've got a slight set on Till, sorry, but how much pressure did Dana White put on, if any, to face Robbie again?
None so far. I haven't heard from him.
That's surprising.
Well, he texted me once last night. It was last night, I think. Texted me. We had a small text conversation. No, they haven't said anything to me. I mean, you know what the UFC does a lot of? They get a feel for what the fans are saying, and I think besides a few drunk British fans last night, I don't think there's not a lot of people interested in that rematch. I mean, you know, when you say, okay, if you would have put a fan poll together for my first fight, it says who do you want to face? Robbie Lawler would have been really low on that list. You know, there's a lot of reasons it wasn't that sought after. And so now, you know, I think they kind of took the pulse of the fans, and the fans are just, they want something else. The fans would choose me and Till over me and Robbie. You know, I'm probably 8-1 or something like that.
For you, is that someone you target because he's like third in the world and he's closer to the title? Or
there's a whole bunch of reasons,
yeah.
Right? Yeah, I mean, third in the world. I think I beat him pretty easy. I think he talks trash with me. I think he brings in the British crowd. I mean, I think there's just a whole bunch of reasons. I think it makes a lot of sense.
You said you wanted to fight him in Chicago, right? That's the day you'd like.
I think that'd be a great one, you know, especially if he comes out unscathed tonight, you know, no major injuries. You know, one of his big storylines has been his weight, right? He balloons up. So, you know, I remember when I got to fight in the Bellator tournament, it was like 3 times in 3 months, and it was so awesome because I just kept my weight low. It was like no big deal. Make weight 2 or 3 weeks later, make weight 4 weeks later. You know, it was just like easy. So, you know, for a fighter, the hardest time to make weight is when I know my hardest time. I retired for 10 months. I ballooned up, and now I'm like, shit, I got to lose a whole bunch of weight. If you can kind of stay lower, I'm sure that's better for him than taking 6 months off, getting really big, and then having to shrink back down again.
So when do you want to have the conversation with the UFC to say, right, I want it in Chicago?
Tomorrow morning.
Okay.
The relationship with Dana White, you know, is that something you feel as though you have to work on and improve?
Yeah, I think so.
How do you go about that?
Well, I'm gonna work on it. I was texting the other day, so we're gonna work on it.
What was said in those texts?
That we're gonna get together at some point here in the near future.
Okay, when you were with One, obviously, you know, the whole ethos of their organisation and martial arts in Asia is completely different.
Yeah.
Now you're over in the Western world in the UFC. Do you feel like the shackles would come off? You could be you a little bit more.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, you know what it is? They just don't like it over there. They're just like not in the whole just culture.
Yeah.
Right. I was texting with one CEO today. You know, it's a really good friendship I've maintained, and you know, I've created while I was over there. He's like, you're just so in your element with these British people trying to harass you. You know, he's like, you're great on the mic, and he's like, it's so cool seeing that come out because obviously, you know, we didn't have it in Asia. People just weren't into it, so it's, you know, I didn't do it.
Did you find that you weren't able to be yourself out there? You had to sort of be a little bit more. For what was corporate, you had to sort of fit their profile of being like a hero to the Asian.
Not really. I mean, it was just like, it was, you know, it's like if I would have got up in a Q&A in one of this, pick a country over there, it wasn't going to be like last night. All their fans were going to come up and drunk on the mic and yell at me. You know, they would have said like really polite, nice things. So it's just way different.
If Till isn't successful in beating Masvidal, what are your options?
Well, I'm already thinking like the vibe I got this week is George Masvidal is going to make some excuse not to fight me.
Right.
You know, coming in this week, I was thinking, hey, I'll fight either one of these guys. You know, Masvidal is ranked 11th, but if he beats the number 3 guy, he's, you know, probably what, 4, 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there. And now he's just the way his interviews came off, he's going to find a whole bunch of reasons to say no.
Okay.
So if that does happen, I'm just going to kind of have to look at the division again and see who I can match up with.
And if Colby does get the next shot at